What's going on, everyone? Today's April 3rd, 2024. It is Wednesday for your midweek review. A couple things to note with regards to news going into the later half of the week. Tomorrow, you have unemployment claims being released at 8:30, and then at 12:15 and at 2, you have a FOMC member speaking. So be cautious of that lunch hour and as well as the 2 p.m. hour. And then on Friday, of course, because it is non-farm payroll week at 8:30, we have our average hourly earnings month on month. We have our non-farm employment change and our employment rate being released at 8:30 as well. So we've got unemployment claims tomorrow, NFP on Friday. Both of the red folders for the rest of the week are being released at 8:30, so be cautious there. A lot of pre-equity volatility. Other than that, I'm good to go ahead and get into the dollar unless you have anything, Henry.
Good for me.
All righty. So starting with dollar on a weekly, couple things to note. We did take our buy side liquidity.
Yeah, you're all
Am I
good.
good to share? Okay. Okay, so we did take our buy side liquidity target of 104,976 like we had talked about, and we are now trading back below. A couple of things to note, we are still trading in a weekly SIBI, but we do have a weekly BISI right below us, and the idea would be that we would continue to trade higher off of this weekly BISI. So really my main forefront going into the back half of the week and early next week is one, where does this weekly close? Do we close inside the BISI? Do we close below or above the consequent encroachment? And how do even the daily candles react to this? So if we do respect this, I would like to see dollar continue to move higher. If we do not respect it and we start to see closure through the consequent encroachment and below this, then we can target sell side again. But until that happens, I'm going to remain with the idea that price traded into a discount from this low to this high down into here, created displacement off of it. And now, if you look to see where this low to this high is, you can see right at equilibrium and discount is this higher time frame discount array being this weekly BISI. On a daily, there's not too much going on the daily, so really you want to keep your eyes on the higher time frames. So I'm really just focused on this weekly BISI right now. You can utilize this down closure candle if you'd like. And if price does want to get a little bit overstretched, we do have a little tiny little portion of this BISI left over as well. But for the most part, I really am just utilizing this weekly BISI, noting how the daily and weekly closure, but more so starting with the daily, how do we close in and around the consequent encroachment of it? And if we do close above it and respect it, do we displace higher? And then we could potentially look to see this new high created act as our newly buy side liquidity. Other than that, that's it for me.
All right. Let me pull up mine. Okay, so we'll get into indices. Start with ES here. If we're seeing that dollar will likely gravitate down into the weekly BISI that we have below, I'd like to see the inverse relationship take place and see indices continue moving higher. You'll see as we get down into our daily charts in just a moment that we did drop down into a discount and then start moving higher from it today. So we're looking good in terms of bullish order flow. Just starting with a monthly here though, you can see we've still maintained bullish order flow from the monthly perspective and haven't violated any discount arrays. So even though we're seeing a retracement in the early part of the month here, there's no reason to expect a significant retracement quite yet. Okay, jumping into the weekly, you can see how so far to start the week, we did trade down into our down close candles here and the BISI that was created here on the weekly between this candle's high and this candle's low. It's a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and we're re-delivering the sell side here. And so far, in terms of the candle closure, respecting that inefficiency or that imbalance, excuse me, by the fact that you're seeing candle closure above the imbalance and not below it. Okay, so we do want to see where that candle closes in 1 day and 22 hours, but at the moment we're respecting it as a discount array, and we can expect that we can see higher prices off of that. Dropping down into a daily chart, a couple things to note here. You can see how when we did run out the sell side liquidity under this candle's low, we didn't spend a whole lot of time down there. So not getting too comfortable under that low and then returning up into the range right here as we respected the weekly BISI. We did trade down all the way to the low end of the daily BISI right here and reached into a discount of this range. If I put my fib on the low to the high, you can see how we drew back down into a discount to revisit our discount arrays down here being the low end of the daily BISI and also the bullish order block here on the daily, which we tapped right there, and are now trading back up into a range. So I just want to see going into the remainder of the week, can we work back up into a deeper premium? You can see that so far in the after hours, as we're filming this, we've already run out and purged Wednesday's high in the start of Thursday's trading and traded up into this little SIBI that we have right there as well. So I want to see really how London session pans out going into tomorrow. But if we do manage to trade above and start working back above this SIBI right here, I'd like to see us gravitate higher up into this imbalance up here. Okay, that'll cover it for ES. NASDAQ, same idea from the monthly perspective, still bullish, just a retracement here. No violation of discount arrays yet. So all we did is trade down into this candle's wick, and then we're starting to work higher off of it. From a weekly, we're still respecting the bullish order block from here, which we traded into the mean threshold of right there. And now just back into the high end again, right there. So just trading off of that, and then also trading from a discount of the dealing range. If you take your low up to your high, we did return back into a discount and discount arrays, and then we're trading off of that here. Dropping down to a daily chart, you can see on NASDAQ, we did end up closing below the consequent encroachment of this daily BISI, but you can see that today we found our way back above it, or excuse me, this is the after hours trading. This is today's action, and we did trade back up all the way back into this candle's low, so not creating a new imbalance, a new sell side imbalance there, which is good for continued buy side delivery. Okay, since we're not creating new inefficiencies, not really showing any sign of displacement to the downside yet. So you can see in the after hours, we've already traded above today's action, Wednesday's high right there, and I'd like to see if we can continue reaching up into a premium of this range here. So if I take that same high from up here and then take that, you can see that we've returned into a premium now. So I'll be interested heading into tomorrow. Do we continue to see new displacement through that on that 4 hour, 1 hour time frame? If so, then we can start gravitating up toward these relative equal highs up here, being the current week's high, which you can see right there. So if I just mark out buy side liquidity there and then drop down to a daily, you can see that's that high there, and it's very close to the high from the prior week as well. Okay, so that's what I'm watching for on NASDAQ, really until we see some disrespect of a discount array, so either trading and closing below this inefficiency here, or at the very least creating a new SIBI to the downside on the daily chart. I'm not super interested in significantly lower prices. So I just continue to follow the order flow and look for buy side up here. Any thoughts here, Carson?
Nope, I'm all good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Trade safe. NFP on Friday. Be careful. No need to force anything or feel like you need to trade going into tomorrow. Usually Thursdays before NFP can be very inside range day bound, consolidative. So don't feel like you're missing out on anything. And even if you do, it's okay. Other than that, we do have NFP. If you look to be a participant, make sure that you're trading post NFP, not trying to trade ahead of it. And other than that, we will be back in action this Sunday with our weekly calls. I know we took a week off. I was on vacation. We had a holiday. Other than that, be safe.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.